Welcome back to TPS. Nobody had Patrick Mahomes leading the NFL in passing touchdowns during the 2018 season. We're sure few had Ben Roethlisberger having the most passing yards, but it was no surprise to see Todd Gurley leading the league in TDs from scrimmage. And it was barely a shock to see Ezekiel Elliott win his second rushing title. When it comes to predicting the stat leaders for 2019, some are pretty obvious, others are tricky, and we had to think bold before locking in our picks. Let's take a look at our projected stat leaders for every major category in 2019. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Passing yards, Patrick Mahomes. The reigning NFL MVP threw for 5,097 yards and 50 touchdowns last season, leading the Kansas City Chiefs to the AFC Championship game. Only two other QBs have ever hit 50 touchdown passes in a single year: Tom Brady in 2007 and Peyton Manning in 2013. Only Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers had more yards than Mahomes last season, with 5,129. It should be noted that Big Ben had 95 more passing attempts, and he still barely edged Mahomes. The Chiefs will still be carried by a powerful rushing game, but that doesn't mean Andy Reid will cut back on Mahomes' workload. His ridiculous arm gives him a huge advantage as well. All of those plays and 50-plus yards will help him rack up the stats. We project Mahomes to finish with something in the 4,800 to 5,100 range. That'll give him the first passing yards title of his career. Passing touchdowns, Baker Mayfield. As much as we'd love to see him do it again, Mahomes simply isn't going to throw 50 touchdown passes in 2019. And so, according to our calculations, a sophomore will win the passing touchdowns title for the second straight year. We project Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield to lead the field here. He sat out the first 2.5 games, yet Mayfield still tossed 27 touchdowns in his rookie year. Improvement is inevitable for the second-year QB, but also factor in that he now has Odell Beckham Jr. as his top receiver. Jarvis Landry, another Pro Bowl talent, becomes the number 2 guy in Cleveland. That's kind of unfair. Tight end David Njoku and second-year back Nick Chubb should get even better as well. Look for Mayfield to barely edge out the likes of Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers as he finishes with around 40 to 45 touchdown passes. Completions, Baker Mayfield. For the first time in about 100 years, Drew Brees didn't lead the NFL in completions last season. Roethlisberger took the crown with 452. Mayfield finished 18th with 310 on the year, but that number figures to jump up big time. With all these weapons at his disposal, Mayfield should push hard for well over 400 completions. One thing that we're factoring in as well is that other great QBs like Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees are all expected to lean on their run games a little more in 2019. Nick Chubb is still a stud and all, but the Browns won't be running as much as other playoff contenders. They'll put it in Mayfield's hands far more often than not. Freddie Kitchens will let him loose, and Mayfield will come away with the most completions on top of the passing yards title. Interceptions thrown, Kyler Murray. Last year, Roethlisberger led the league in interceptions thrown with 16. Such is life when you have 675 passing attempts. While rookie Kyler Murray figures to start all 16 games for the Arizona Cardinals next season. Usually, rookie QBs are among the league's leaders in interceptions thrown. We project the Heisman Trophy winner to throw something in the 15 to 20 range here in 2019. It's not just that he's a rookie, but Murray is the type of QB that can be too cute at times. He'll force passes rather than take sacks or throw it away. He'll throw on the run across his body when he just shouldn't. That's just what it's like for a young dual-threat QB. Murray will learn a lot in his rookie year, but we expect a lot of mistakes here in 2019. Don't be surprised if he leads the league in interceptions by a decent margin. Rushing yards, Saquon Barkley. Ezekiel Elliott won the rushing title for the second time in 3 years last season, finishing with 1,434. Giants rookie Saquon Barkley wasn't that far behind, compiling 1,307 on the season. It should be noted that Elliott had 43 more carries, though. We'll see if Elliott's holdout situation will affect his performance in 2019. Probably not, but we expect Barkley to edge out Zeke this season. The Giants know they need to give the ball to their top playmaker, and with Odell Beckham Jr. gone, it means more plays for Barkley. With that, we'll get some around 1,500 rushing yards for Barkley, and he'll win the rushing title in a rather convincing fashion. Rushing touchdowns, Ezekiel Elliott. He may not win the rushing title this time around, but we still have Zeke edging out Barkley and Todd Gurley for the most rushing TDs this upcoming season. Gurley led the category with 17 last season, but the Rams plan to cut back on his workload. Alvin Kamara should also push for the title, but the New Orleans Saints have other great red zone options, like Michael Thomas, Jared Cook, and Latavius Murray. Elliott only had 6 rushing touchdowns last season, but that number will change. Opposing defenses can't stack the box now with Amari Cooper in the fold, so look for Zeke to finish with around 15 rushing touchdowns, which will be tops in the NFL. Receptions, DeAndre Hopkins. Only Michael Thomas and Zach Ertz had more receptions than the Texan star, who tallied 115 last season. But while guys like Thomas Ertz, Julio Jones, and Adam Thielen have excellent pass-catching sidekicks, Hopkins is practically a one-man wrecking crew in Houston. He's by far the most reliable pass catcher for Deshaun Watson. Hopkins seems to get better every single year. Not only was he 3rd in catches last season, but Hopkins also finished 2nd in receiving yards. Such is life when you finally have an above-average QB throwing you the ball. And Watson also figures to improve after showing signs of rust last season, having to recover gradually from an ACL tear he suffered in 2017. Watson will get better, and Hopkins is his only trusted pass catcher. Give Hopkins around 120 catches in 2019, which will be tops in the NFL. Receiving yards, Michael Thomas. Julio Jones led this category last season with 1,677, but with Devonta Freeman back, and with Calvin Ridley and Austin Hooper bound to build off strong 2018 campaigns, it'll be hard for Jones to successfully defend his title. Outside of offseason addition Jared Cook, the Saints don't have any true stud wideouts or tight ends to complement Thomas in the passing game. That means the Saints star has a prime chance to post the most receiving yards in 2019. And it helps that their divisional foes in the NFC South lack true shutdown corners. Thomas had 1,405 yards last season, which placed him 6th in the NFL. No reason he can't do better in 2019. We'll give him around 1,550 yards while other receivers regress a bit, thus handing Thomas the receiving crown. Receiving touchdowns, Davante Adams. Even though 2018 was a down year for the Packers, star wideout Davante Adams tallied 13 touchdown receptions, tied with Eric Ebron for 2nd most in the league. Only Antonio Brown had more with 15. It's pretty amazing that Adams did so well in the red zone, since he was the only Pro Bowl caliber weapon Aaron Rodgers had to work with last season. Well, the Packers offense should rebound in 2019, with a healthy Rodgers and new head coach Matt LaFleur calling the shots. The Rodgers-Adams connection won't miss a beat in 2019. The latter has recorded double-digit TD receptions in each of the last 3 years. He'll lead that category in 2019. We'll project 14 for Adams. Touchdowns from scrimmage, Saquon Barkley. Gurley's 21 touchdowns from scrimmage led the NFL in 2018. He had 17 rushing meters and 4 TD receptions. Kamara was 2nd with 18. Like we said, Gurley's stats will take a dip as the Rams cut back on his workload. Barkley, who tied Antonio Brown for 3rd with 15 TDs from scrimmage last year, will step up as your league leader for 2019. Barkley had 11 rushing TDs and 91 receptions for 721 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns in his rookie year. As we said above, the Giants will use Barkley a lot more. Assuming he plays all 16 games, double-digit rushing TDs is a gimme. Barkley should record around 5 touchdown receptions as well. We'll project 17 total touchdowns for Barkley. It won't match Gurley's 2018 title, but it'll be good enough to win the category in 2019. Field goals, Justin Tucker. Texans kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn led the NFL in field goals last season with 37. Justin Tucker, widely regarded as the league's best kicker, was 2nd with 35. For what it's worth, Fairbairn had 3 more attempts than Tucker. Tucker's 38 field goals in 2016 led the NFL, and he was tied for first with Stephen Gostkowski in 2013. The man is as reliable as they come. The Ravens' offense, led by Lamar Jackson, is good, but not exactly spectacular. They won't light up the scoreboard every night, but the Ravens will set Tucker up nicely for bundles of field goal attempts. And since the guy almost never misses, Tucker is a safe and easy pick here. Give him 40 to 45 for 2019. Sacks, Aaron Donald. Yeah, boring, unoriginal, and predictable. Say what you want, but this was an easy pick for us. Donald ran away with the league lead in sacks last season with 20.5 en route to his 2nd straight Defensive Player of the Year award. It's a scary thought, but the league's best defensive player just seems to get better every single year. As dominant as he is, Donald might have a tough time hitting 20.5 sacks again in 2019. After all, that was tied for the 7th most ever in a single season, and it wasn't far off from the record of 22.5 set by Michael Strahan in 2001. But this is Aaron Donald, so it'll probably make us look silly and record 25. We'll be a bit more honest, though, and give him 18.5, which will lead the league yet again. Forced fumbles, Khalil Mack. It's safe to say that either Donald, Mack, J.J. Watt, or Von Miller will lead this stat in 2019. Last season, Watt and D. Ford finished tied for first with 7 forced fumbles. Mack and T.J. Watt were tied for second with 6. Don't forget that Mack missed 2 games in 2018, and he was hampered for a bit by an ankle injury. If he's at 100% and plays the whole year, Mack can top the 7 forced fumbles that Ford and Watt posted. We'll give him 8 in total for 2019. Tackles Bobby Wagner. Indianapolis Colts star and reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year Darius Leonard ran away with this category last year. Leonard had 163 combined tackles on the year. Green Bay Packers star linebacker Blake Martinez was second with 144. Seattle Seahawks Pro Bowl linebacker Bobby Wagner was fourth with 138. The year before, he was seventh with 133, and he was tops in 2016. Since his 2012 rookie year, Wagner has posted no fewer than 114 tackles in a season. He's posted 130 or more tackles in 6 of his first 7 years. That's consistency, and it makes him a safe pick to lead the league in tackles for 2019. Let's guess, for the sake of specifics, 155. Interceptions, XAVIEN Howard. The Miami Dolphins star finished in a 3-way tie for the first time in defensive interceptions with 7, along with Kyle Fuller and DAVANTE Casey. Howard has emerged as one of the game's premier shutdown corners, and it's why he was awarded a 5-year, $75 million contract. The Dolphins won't be very good in 2019, but Howard will be one of the few positives in the secondary. New head coach Brian Flores will help Howard take his game to another level in 2019. When all is said and done, his 7 interceptions will be tops in the NFL. Just a guess. Who do you think will lead each of these major categories in 2019? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.